soda. Baking soda. I got baking soda.
Why did you wish to sail west?
To open a new route to Asia. Asia is the richest kingdom, the land of spices and gold. At the moment, there are only two ways of reaching it. By sea, sailing around the African continent. The journey takes a year. Or by land. But the Turks have closed this route to all Christians. There is a third way. By sailing west across the ocean sea.
The distance is unknown. It's said to be infinite.
Superstition. I believe the Indies are no more than 750 leagues west of the Canary Islands.
How can you be so certain?
The calculations of Toscanelli, Marin de Tir, Esdras.
Esdras is a Jew.
So what's worse?
2 minutes, and already you're a dead man.
For telling the truth?
Yes. We are burning people for less.
Anyway, we look at that movie, you see that clip, understand Hollywood does with the truth. And what it shows you is how Columbus himself knew that it was people already over here based on the Apocrypha.
Why did you wish to sail west?
To open a new route to Asia. By sailing west across the ocean sea.
Read. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13 and verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Salmanasar, king of Assyria, led them away captive. Newsflash, y'all, you're seeing Ezekiel 17 right here.
Verse 39. Yeah. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves.
So that another land that they went to was Assyria from Jerusalem, okay? From verse 41, go ahead.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country,
Right.
where never mankind dwelt,
So that's the passage you see right there. Go ahead.
that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
Yeah, that's the passageway they took with the red arrows, brother. Go ahead.
And the same region is called Ashereth.
Means another land. Go ahead.
Then dwelt they unto the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come.
But the day that should begin to come is dealing with Judah, Benjamin, and Levi off of the west coast of Africa. Go ahead.
says, the highest shall stay the screens of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders.
Right, so you had some Israelites that stayed back as well. All right, so that's it on that.
And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes, which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves.
So that another land that they went to was Assyria from Jerusalem, okay? So verse 41, go ahead.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country,
Right.
where never mankind dwelt,
So that's the passage you see right there. Go ahead.
that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
Yeah, that's the passageway he took with the red arrow, brother. Go ahead.
And the same region is called Ashereth.
It means another land. Go ahead.
Then dwelt they unto the latter time.
Right in front of you, right here, we have a world map that was created originally in 130 to 150 BC. It's a reproduction, though, that was created in 1628. The original creator was a Greek named Pausanias, and he put this map together, kind of detailing what he had, his perspective on the world. He was living in Rhodes, Greece at the time. Let's zoom on in. The quality of the image is not great, but obviously we can see that Europe right here. We can see certain aspects of it. Granted, this is a 1628 reproduction of a BC map of the world. We certainly can see the shapings, and I'm sure it was altered somewhat, and maybe detailed a little bit differently, but we get a perspective of the perception of the Greeks when they first made a world map, in terms of not a lot of places in Africa were discovered, maybe parts of northern Africa, and certainly parts of Asia. I mean, Alexander the Great had a conquest to go into Asia, and it was very undiscovered territory, and certainly we can see that in this swatch of area right here. There is no detail. There's a few mountains labeled on the side, but North America isn't even a fathom on this map, which is just very interesting. So this is a really old reproduction of a map that was from 130 to 150 BC. So
And the parallel passage where Africa land is evidently the same as Carthage.
Same as Carthage. Because back then, most people didn't know anything below Libya, which was on the farthest part of West Africa at that time. It moved.
First Kings chapter 10, verse 22.
Go ahead.
For the king had a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Hiram. Once in 3 years.
Once in how many years?
3 years.
3 years. Go ahead.
Came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes.
Gold, silver, ivory, and apes from the Western world. And it took how many years?
3 years.
3 years from to get there, meaning what? A year and a half to get there, a year and a half to get back.
This is those folks who do not want to believe. This is those ignorant folks that's jealous, that can't see it. And I'm going to tell you like this, a lot of that comes from, just like you saw it last night, it comes from these bras, that comes from their wives, it comes from them women. They look upon the Northern Kingdom and go, oh, you know what, I can't stand them. They jealous. They, for some odd reason, jealousy has hit them, and they just want to cut them off completely. Now, let me say this, because we're spiritual people. We can read that all day. I can look that up and say, oh, you know what? What's behind that? Because if you think about it, you only know that you're an Israelite by these curses. They're the same curses that them. But you want to cut it off? There's an agenda behind it.
Mastercraft on it, flavor. Finally, oh, it's about to go down. You know the money no be problem. Finally, oh, it's about to go down. Where my baby, oh, it's about to go down. All my sexy ladies, it's about to go down. For your jealous, okay. Walubenu, maya, maya. For your jealous, okay. Walubenu, maya, maya. For your jealous, okay. Walubenu, maya, maya. For your jealous, okay. Walubenu, yeah. I used to mesmerize, say me me that my baby mama go make it to the end. And I thought I was in love until I met my wife. It be like she do me voodoo, she tell me to bulu bulu. Go be a me ya bang you my 6 to 5. Made the office busy, checking the Twitter and in the Facebook, looking for new pics to like. I no go lie. About the body ni big you mukasa when side she be princess. There she goes. You know my baby got swag. Best I nigga tell them my pictures to rose. Miss Universe a grand fan of home my check bag. Chevenya will pay. Check your prices. Cabin I will make you corner quadrant licenses. I'm up to me jar until almost a real one. Home my ace and the hepatitis.
Finally, oh, it's about to go down.
Never seen a big
Finally, oh, it's about to go down.
Mastercraft on the beat.
When my baby, oh, it's about to go down. When my I'm a sexy lady. It's about to go down. Oh, yeah, just so okay. Walubenu, walubenu, maya, 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 maya. Just so okay. Walubenu, walubenu, maya, maya. I'm in love with the coco. I got it for the no. Baking soda, I got baking soda. Baking soda, I got baking soda. Ain't that when you need my love? Call me on my cell phone. I think I'm Big Meat, Larry Hoover, whipping work. Hallelujah. One nation, under God. Real niggas getting money from the fucking start. What